When I'm weaving, I forget everything else. It's a great pleasure because the wool is wonderful to touch. And I'm totally absorbed. In here. It's what I've always wanted to do, so I've never, ever thought I would do anything else.
Helena Hernmarck is an absolutely masterful tapestry artist. She combines skill with incredible design talent, weaving tapestries on a truly monumental scale for architectural settings throughout the country. She has woven many of these pieces at her own studio on her large 11-foot looms. Many of them are also woven at her kind of partner sister studio in Sweden.
I grew up in the old town in Stockholm, which is a very charming island. My father was head of decorative arts at the National Museum. When I was 17, he took me to visit Alice Lund, who had a weaving workshop. And my father said, "Do you want to be a textile designer?" And that decided my fate. After 4 years in art school, I married a Danish fellow. And it was with him I moved to Canada. We were there just in time for Expo. And people at the National Film Board commissioned me to make a tapestry for the lobby of the Labyrinth, their building at Expo. And the design I made was a snake that was like a labyrinth and lit from behind like a stained glass window. I felt that if you want to make an impact in the lobby, you do something big. That was really the market that I would seek, would be lobbies. This is like watching grass grow. It's all very slow. Now it's more like embroidery than weaving. When I got the commission from the Weyerhaeuser company, I was told, fly to Seattle, stay in the tall hotel, go up on the roof, and wait for the helicopter to pick you up. So there I am, 29 years old, like James Bond on top of the roof. They flew me to walk around in the rainforest. And in those days, I hadn't done much photography, so I decided to work from a picture they had. And then I went back to Montreal and wove the rainforest tapestry. And that was my breakthrough.
Helena has evolved this historic tapestry medium to reflect photographic vision. And so weaving with this incredible sensitivity to color and focus is something that she has innovated.
In '72, I had by then married an Englishman. We then moved to London. But the next big commission I got was for Bethlehem Steel, 3 tapestries. I was just given the photograph, so I said, well, that's great, I can do it like that. You have firelight coming in one direction and the daylight is coming in another direction. I like that mix of light. In '75, I moved to New York. America was where I could enlarge on my career. I couldn't do that in England, particularly, or Sweden. I then married the industrial designer, Niels Diffrient. He grew up in Mississippi. And he turned out to be very clever, going to Cranbrook, having a Fulbright, and then focusing on ergonomics and the human body. And he developed the human scale chairs, which was really totally unique. Niels designed this room for me.
Walk into the studio and the first thing you see is the wall of wool. This is more than 2,000 colors. And arranged according to the spectrum.
I've got all these colors, but they're never exactly what I need, so I combine them. I have a sample of what I'm looking for, and then I lay them out. So it's, in fact, 5 different yarns. So then I go up and find each one. That's one. And this is this one, that one, and then we have the green over there, and then we have a light one like that. Okay. So in effect, I'm making one color out of 5 colors. And then I can tie on to here. Then it will continue. In 2013, Niels got cancer. For 8 months, I stopped my work to take care of him. But I felt that I could allow myself 1 hour a day to do something that I would enjoy, and that's what these are. I made probably 200 of them before he passed away. What you see here is an overview of my tapestries. If I look around, it's almost every state has a piece. This is Atlanta. That's the biggest one we made, is 400 square feet. And these are Oklahoma, the history of Oklahoma. And then the history of money and the future of banking, so banks are involved. And this was for Pitney Bowes originally, these tall abstract works. And they now belong to the Minneapolis Institute of Art. And this is in Texas. It hadn't occurred to me until then that you could weave in focus and out of focus. That was the first time I did that.
The Hudson Yards Commission was an incredibly ambitious project.
They wanted 2 tapestries for the elevator lobby. And the client said I wanted to go up the wall and along the ceiling. Of course, we'd never done anything like that. But you always say yes, never say no.
For the better part of 4 years, there were 2 weavers in Sweden, weaving both the wall tapestries and then the ceiling tapestries. And then simultaneously, here at Helena's studio, we wove various ceiling hanging solutions.
We needed to keep the ceiling tapestry exactly flat. So at every inch, there had to be a carbon fiber tube.
This backing would allow it to be suspended flat across the ceiling.
I'm trying to get what I want, but it's a particularly tricky piece of weaving right now.